My name is Alexis Lichtenstein. This is my final project video for CAI 3801, taken in the fall semester of 2025. So before I begin with my worksheets and my dashboards, I want to make a note that I initially used the wrong sales data set. Yeah, I know, horrible. But so some of my values are off. Specifically, the what if chart is completely off because I didn't have some of the data that I needed to make some of um the calculated fields and stuff like that, the parameters. But I followed I spoke with Dr. Uddin and I followed his tutorial. He told me that as long as I make a note for the TA and I follow his what if tutorial, that like it's the same idea. So that I shouldn't lose points for that as long as I make a note. So without further ado, first I will start with my sales KPI chart. So if you see me looking to the right, that's just because my transcript is over there. I have none of this memorized by any means. So this view, it basically shows the total sales for the selected year, and compares performance against the previous year. Pretty simple. It gives basically a snapshot of overall growth, and it's kind of a quick way to identify whether sales are trending up or down across the specific months. Next is the profit KPI card. This worksheet focuses on total profit rather than total sales like the last one, and like a year-over-year change. And so what stands out here, and I'll make note of this further along in the video, is that profit is much more volatile than sales, meaning that basically it is more unpredictable and it changes more rapidly and more rapidly over time. So this reinforces basically that revenue growth does not always equal and translate into strong profitability. So next is my drill down um, product category and subcategory level sales and profit distribution. Wow. So basically the product category analysis. This worksheet breaks down performance by specific categories, as you can see, technology, furniture, and office supplies. And it helps identify which products generate the most revenue, and the strongest results, and which ones consistently underperform, like furniture. This is important for understanding basically where the profit is coming from on like a more detailed level. The Pareto chart, this shows cumulative sales by a subcategory and basically highlights, you see this 80% threshold right here. And so you can see that a small number of these subcategories are actually contributing to the profit. Oh, wait, here, I reversed that. A small number are actually contributing to the profit, whereas more of them contribute to very little. So this basically helps the business prioritize which products deserve the most attention from their perspective. So next, dual chart, sales versus profit. So this compares obviously sales and profit trends over time, and you're able to see them in the same view here. And so, like I mentioned before, even when sales are increasing pretty sharply, as you can see, profit remains much lower and generally more inconsistent. So this shows that, like I said before, again, strong sales does not necessarily mean strong profit. And you can also see like when marginal issues are occurring with this sheet. Next, this is the state level profit slash sales chart. This worksheet visualizes sales and profit at the same time, like some of the other ones did, except you can see it on a map view. So you can see that some states generate high sales, but some even have low and negative profit. So this suggests either like regional insufficiencies, stuff like that, and is more geographically targeted for that type of decision making. Next, customer segmentation analysis. So I think this one's pretty important too. So it shows customers being grouped by high value, medium value, and low value. Um, Segments based on sales and profit again. And so high value customers obviously generate the most profit, while many of the low value customers are in the negatives for profit. So this insight is definitely useful for deciding retention and marketing, where those efforts should be kind of focused. Next, we have the base forecasting model, specifically demand. So this worksheet forecasts like future sales and stuff like that using the historical demand trends. So this forecast suggests that well, it suggests continued growth, but also like you can see that it includes like the confidence intervals, which highlights uncertainty in certain aspects, which helps with like more realistic planning. Next is just forecasting details. This is this little bit right here. Um, Quickly, I'll just talk about this. It provides a closer look at forecasting assumptions. Um, it compares the actual values with estimated values. Basically, that's the main point of this, helping estimate how reliable the forecast may be over time. So the what if scenario analysis allows basically, as you can see up here, the discount rates to be adjusted using the parameter. And so even though this data set is completely wrong, like I said, Dr. Uddin, I followed his tutorial, and so it basically still reveals the same thing that increasing discounts can very quickly reduce profit in certain subcategories, certain regions. As you can see, you can change the regions here, central, east, south, whatever. Um, so yeah, it shows that some products are price sensitive, as you can see, based on the discount. Obviously, when you go in the negatives, you're not going to lose much because you're not discounting anything. So yeah, just basically to be careful when you're discounting things is what I got of this chart. Next, we have the profit map. This just shows um, profit by postal code. This was something I did for extra credit. So the green areas obviously represent profitable regions. Um, Red areas highlight losses. So this is another way to visually identify where companies are performing well geographically and where improvements are needed. Next is a tree map. I also did this for extra credit, so I'll go over this really quickly. This shows subcategory performance. So the size represents the sales, as you can see, bigger, more sales, and the darkness of the green color represents profit. So the more green it is, the more profitable, and the more red it is, the less profitable, or even in negatives in these cases. Um, Next are my dashboards. I'll try to spend a lot more time on these, but I know that I have to go quicker because I'm running out of time. So I'll walk through my first dashboard, which is the performance overall dashboard. This is designed to basically give a high level view of sales, profit, customer behavior, and also while allowing you to like interact. So like I'll show how it's interactive. So at the top left, I have the sales KPI card and the profit KPI card right next to it. These summarize total sales and total profit, like I mentioned, for the selected year. You can change the year, which I will do in a second. Right now, the dashboard is set, let's see, 2015. And so using this select CY parameter, so these KPI cards show like the year-over-year percent change, and this helps you like quickly evaluate the performance trends without having to like actually dig into like the individual charts themselves. So if I change the year from 2015 to 2016, you can see here that the KPI values immediately update. Total sales increases significantly actually, and the total profit also rises, showing that this dashboard responds really well to the input, obviously, that I'm giving it. So directly beneath the KPIs, I have the proto chart right here. This breaks down sales by subcategory, like I said. So the dotted 80% line I also talked about. This is a reference line just to kind of identify which products drive the majority of the revenue. As you can see, phones and chairs are the only two above this 80% line. So when I click on a subcategory like, for example, storage, the rest of the dashboard updates to reflect only that selection, which is super cool. Click off of this if I can. Hello, hello, okay. So like as you can see, after I select storage, the customer segmentation chart updates. I don't know if my head's in the way. There we go. And so this interaction allows people to, businesses, I guess, users, whoever's doing it, to connect product performance directly to customer behavior and as well as everything else. You can see that storage falls under office supplies. Okay, on the bottom right, here we have this customer segmentation, and this groups customers into high value, medium value, low value, like I mentioned. High value customers, they appear on the higher profit axis and they generate the disproportionate amount of total profit compared to the low value customers over here. And so as I filter different subcategories, if I were to do that and I change the year, the scatter plot's going to update. This will show you like which customers are worth prioritizing, stuff like that, because they are all like identified by the with the customer ID, as you can see there. So overall, this dashboard is designed to kind of let users start with the high level KPIs and then like drill down into products, categories, like products, categories, and customer segments while like being able to see them all at the same time, keeping all the views connected, stuff like that. Makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to identify like strong sales area, translating into like actual profitability and like where they don't. So my next dashboard is called Strategy and Opportunities, and this dashboard focuses more on prescriptive and predictive analysis, as you can see my what if up here, and then I also have some business recommendations down here, which I will not read, but at your discretion, you can read them. So at the top left, we have the what if scenario chart, and this compares the original profit to the adjusted profit after applying new discounts, which I can do on the actual chart itself, but I'm not going to do that now. So I can also use the slider over here to change the discount, like I did on the worksheet, like I mentioned. So, for example, when I increase the discount value, let's see, you can see that subcategories like tables, books, bookcases, excuse me, they experienced larger drops in adjusted profit, while categories such as like phones, um, they remain more stable. And so this shows which products are more price sensitive, like to keep it at around 6. On the top right, we have the forecasting details. I also talked about this as far as the sales trends, confidence intervals, and stuff like that, which is important for planning. Bottom left, I thought that it would be important to at least include one of the geographical maps. So like if I click on something like New York, as you can see, the tooltip shows total sales, total profit, and profit percentage. So this allows for like quick comparison right here. So together, this dashboard allows users to explore how discount strategy, regional performance, and future forecasts all interact together and how decisions can be made by looking at them all at the same time and how it can impact overall profitability. So overall, these dashboards, like I said, are designed to move from high-level performance monitoring to like more like deeper strategic like analysis. So the interactivity allows business decision makers to explore the data dynamically rather than like relying on static reports. So that's all I have for my dashboard. Thank you so much for watching. How do I end this? Stop recording.